Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. Final episode, season 2, episode 9 of X-Men 97. If you did not at least shed a tear or anything, sums up with you.
I'm done. I'm done. Oh my god.
Nightcrawler is MVP. When you said no, he's one of your favorite characters, I was like, yep. Wait for this. Nightcrawler's MVP. If the MCU ever get an ounce of any of these characters, charisma, their arcs, their emotional weight that they carry every time they're on screen, take this being a cartoon. Just take this just being a story about great characters. Every scene Nightcrawler has been in, from the episode from when he was dealing with his half brother Creed, the whole point that he kept the faith. This is also not triggering, but like it's throwing back to people when he gave Wolverine a Bible back in the OG days. And what you see here, you see Remy and Rogue reading the Bible. A picture of Nightcrawler.
I got no words. I got words. And one of those, just real quick, I'm just gonna bring up that end credit scene. I was fucking right. Mystique's back. I don't know if she had been Agent Cooper this entire time, but at the very least, we know season 3. Anytime we see Agent Cooper, that's Mystique. Yeah, I called it. Maybe I was jumping the gun a whole year ahead, but no. As you said, if you did not shed a tear for that last part, because it took a smooth minute, but the moment I saw Beast holding the Bible, I knew immediately what happened, and I couldn't stop crying. I honestly could not. And it's just, oh my god. But there is also a lot we got to talk about with this episode, because this episode, while yes, still being the finale against Apocalypse, was really a final battle between X-Men and X-Force and X-Factor. It was not a 3-way, it was a 2-way, because X-Force and X-Factor, as we said last episode, joined forces. And now they're here, along with the addition of Siren, Banshee's daughter, are all here to kill Gambit before Apocalypse's celestial genes take him over completely. And so you got all these big battles of Havoc versus Jubilee, Cable versus his parents, Psylocke versus Wolverine and Morph. Morph even turning into freaking 90s Spider-Man the Animated Series Doc Ock shocked me. I was like, come on, bro. That was a good moment. And then you got Bishop and Polaris versus Strong Guy, Multiple Man, Wolfsbane, and Siren. You know, it's really just all an attempt to get to Gambit, or to stop them from getting to Gambit, to the fact that they're blowing up X-Corp's, entire building. Like, again, I want to know your thoughts. It's like the battle between X-Men and X-Force. What were your thoughts when it came to just this, the big centerpiece of this episode, really?
Well, not only that, like putting up, family against family. Like you have Cable going against Cyclops and Jean Grey, and sometimes we forget that he's a telepath. Like again, so it's like that to have that fight against his parents like that was great. It made it personal, and also showing how powerful he is, even when he's going against his own family. I thought that was good, and knowing that there were greater stakes at hand. But also, even the team up with Bishop and Polaris, like they never left each other's side, and then getting jumped by X-Force, X-Factor, and then only to have Gambit jump in there and take all of them out, like even Multiple Man. Like it was perfect. I'd also say you had Psylocke, Archangel going against Wolverine. Too, trying to get in his head is like, nope.
But these brains have already been scrambled.
Crazy. But yeah, I did again enjoy the fact of like now this is on home base of X Corp, and all players were a part of this too. even to the point when get to wrapping up the Apocalypse arc only temporarily, because I think even the scene leading into Nightcrawler basically sacrificing himself for the Celestial is also tied to two major comic book storylines. About, I believe one is Judgment Day, and the other one's also Age of Apocalypse as well, which I think we got mentioned before, like stuff that was implied in the original series, but we never actually dive into those alternate timelines and everything. But yeah, I think this was a good payoff of terms of 8 episodes leading up to this 9th and building up to a climactic battle, but also a reunion, but then not also as bittersweet because we also lost someone who was kind of like the heartbeat, of keeping people's moral integrity of this entire season. And it's sad, but there's something that costs us of it, and it's showing that this is the most selfless person in this entire season, and probably in any of the X-Men. To be honest with you, it's crazy.
No, without a doubt, he is, because it's like, again, the only way, like, we thought only something external could stop it. And we technically were not wrong in terms of like something external was the only way to really stop Apocalypse, because again, leading up to that, we have Rogue, Nightcrawler, and Beast finding ship. They found ship deep underwater after when they had lost it back in the 90s cartoon. And ship opened the doors, the same ones that Apocalypse went through, where he met with the Celestials and gained the power of the rock to become Apocalypse, back when he was Usopp on Earth. And so Rogue does, literally fighting against Cosmic. Remember, in the MCU, these guys are extremely powerful. You've seen them both in the Guardians film and in the Eternals and in anything else with the Celestials that we've seen in live action, not just the comics, of course. You know how powerful these guys are and how easy it would be to take a lot of like galaxies out. Don't forget that one scene where one of them used an Infinity Stone to wipe out an entire population in Guardians 1. So it's like the fact that Rogue still decided to take one of them on, being like, for love, anything. She'd do anything for Gambit and to save her friends. That was a lot of balls. To the fact that they're like, okay, then you're gonna have a sacrifice, but in this case, here's the power, and literally powers her up to would we say Captain Marvel level of power or something a little bit beyond that? Because I mean, again, she does already have Carol's powers in terms of flight and super strength, but yeah, Celestial Rogue. One, wasn't ever expecting to see that. 2, rivals, you know what to do, and 3, it's just like, it just shows how crazy. Again, I already mentioned this last time, where it's like what she had briefly last episode reminded me of how Rivals decided to like power her up with a bit of Grandmaster stuff. This also gave me that vibe as well, and I knew it also wasn't gonna last even before I knew that Kurt was gonna switch places with her. But it's just crazy to see that. And again, it's literally you could probably call it a Deus Ex Machina too, because it's like literally everything seems fine, Gambit seems fine, then boom, Apocalypse takes over fully and even converts everyone except for Xavier, but then Rogue just comes in and it's almost a one-shot, boom, we're done. You could call it a Deus Ex Machina, but at the same time, it's Celestial powers. The only other person that could rival a Celestial is another Celestial, or Null. Otherwise, it's like there's not that many people out there. So you could call it a Deus Ex Machina. I just call it canon. So, but yeah, no. What'd you think about Cosmic Rogue, Celestial Rogue? I guess is the best word we'll go with. How did you feel about, again, brief, but how did you feel about Rogue ascending to that even before Kurt made a sacrifice?
Yeah, I felt that where the Celestial Rogue again is beautiful, but also showing the type of like divine entity that she becomes just for the sake of someone she loves, and how when she was even approaching the Celestial being, that these are like how parts of her skin was coming off. Again, it's like you're messing with a cosmic being that you don't fully understand, and yet you're still pushing through. And then this again going to the Judgment Day storyline, which again, if you want to re-sanctify Internals some form or fashion with the MCU,
Honestly,
Upset.
yeah, no. Honestly, I've been thinking the same thing. The only way you're really going to re-sanctify any enjoyment in having the Eternals in anything, you have to have the Judgment Day crossover between them, the Avengers, and X-Men. It is literally the only way at this point. And honestly, the way Eternals ended and the way that things could go after Secret Wars, you kind of set that up, to be honest. So I guess we shall
Yeah,
see. But yeah, no, yeah,
yeah. And
I
I just
guess we
don't.
shall see.
Yeah, we should see, and again, we don't even know what entities we're seeing in not even Doomsday, Secret Wars, like So Beyonders, any of them, oh, we don't even know. But I'm just saying, just give an example of when you're using these characters that people love. We have don't never put your universe before your characters, right? But this show, because we love these characters now, and since the last time we've seen them, they have a whole at least 20 plus years of comic book storylines to integrate into stuff, and it just makes it even better because we're already invested with these characters, and now or you're expanding the Marvel universe within this small confined show. Like you're pulling references of Spider-Man, Fantastic Four. We're going to get X-Men, Guardians, and then Guardians of the Galaxy when we see with Professor X and seeing other beings as well, like in the Gladiators and all the stuff like that, right? Like those things. That is what the Marvel universe is about. In terms about the first what foundations those characters, and then going and taking great bigger concepts. Again, this is on a cartoon show, but yeah, this type of stuff, big concepts, but the heart and the personal element is that we're just trying to save our friend. I'm just trying to save someone I love. That is all of the basis of this, is aside from all the complex of Apocalypse and the celestial being and X-Force, X-Factor, like all that stuff can be convoluted on paper, but all of it is they're just trying to save their friend. Save the person that you love. And that's a part I thought having good, decent writing that leads into that. Now, again, some people can say, oh, well, I felt, rushed and everything. Like, guys, like, aside from Disney Plus finales that we've gotten, this is far from what we've gotten as from being mediocre and left unsatisfied. If anything, left you with emotionally, like, weighted, where it's like, okay, there was a cliffhanger, but at the same time, it's like we got Gambit back, we got Rogue, but then also we sacrificed another person we love, Nightcrawler, and other things are now going to get changed now. It's personal because now Mystique's involved. Onslaught, if that's something coming down the line, like where is that coming down the line with that? And so I'm very intrigued to see there, but definitely how they kind of tie loose ends in this episode, but mainly the return of Gambit in its full form. I thought it was great. It was beautifully paced.
And literally it now makes me just question, because again, outside of the Onslaught teases and outside of Mystique being back, where on earth is season 3 gonna go, especially since that will be the first season without Bo DeMayo's writing, post his firing. It's like, where is that gonna go? Because it's like it leaves off with like literally Kurt sacrifices himself, and then we see briefly like everyone's fine either at the mansion or at X Corp. I think mainly at the mansion for now until X Corp is reassembled. But like, everything is for the most part fine. Everyone's moved on. I mean, also Victor Creed is now president, so that is going to be a bit of a hurdle. Hell, maybe even it could lead to more problems for mutants, and maybe even an Avengers versus X-Men, even though the Avengers don't want to fight them. Something along those lines. I feel like while there are some things that you could definitely see where they could go for season 3 and season 4, unlike last season, I do not know where season 3 is really going to go outside of the Onslaught teases and outside of Mystique now playing a very dangerous game. I also do know this is not the last time we're going to see Nightcrawler. I don't know if he'll be at all within season 3. Maybe they'd omit him from season 3, at least for the most part, and then bring him back season 4. But it's like the many stories Nightcrawler has had, especially since, the 90s when the original show came out. It's like there's been so much that he has had when it comes to tying back to his own past, or when he's off by himself, or, when it comes to his religion, or even when he's a vigilante of himself, being as Nightcrawler or even as the Uncanny Spider-Man. Yes, that happened. It's just like there's so much to do with the character that I don't see him being gone. Hell, maybe even he's not gone. Maybe the Celestials have him on a mission taking care of things that we just won't know about until he decides to plop back up again on Earth, and they're like, yeah, you're free to go, sort of thing. You're like, oh, we got another sacrifice that outweighs yours now. This ain't the end of him. It's just a question of when they will decide to bring them back and in what capacity. But again, for season 3, I don't, again, outside of Onslaught and Mystique, I don't know what else or where it could go, honestly. And honestly, it's a good thing, because it's a similar feeling with like Daredevil Born Again, where it's like, I'm in it just to see where you guys go next. You know, I'm ready to see what you have, and I'm ready to be surprised by what you have. And again, season 3 will be coming out next year, so we only will have to wait like a full year for this, which right now will feel long, but the closer we get to 2027 is gonna feel like it was just yesterday that we were watching season 2. So, but yeah, Mike, last thoughts as we wrap up. What are your last thoughts and your verdict on X-Men 97 season 2? All 9 episodes are now on Disney Plus. What would you say is your final verdict and your feelings towards this season?
Final verdict, I thought this was a good and maybe possibly superior season than season 1, especially because I felt with this, they felt more confident now, where like, hey, now we're X-Men 97, got a successful first season, now we can do whatever the hell we want, and now we can go full on cosmic beings, time travel and everything like that. Those things we can dive into. But yeah, definitely, it's great to be an X-Men fan during this time and this year. Honestly, it's been really good, and I know we got more in store. But again, the templates here, whether we see other Disney Plus shows coming out of this, whether an X-Force series will actually dive in more, because again, we're still in this time period. So, you know, like what would an X-Men in the 2000s be, right? I hope not black leather. I hope, God forbid it. But I'm just saying, just like to me, I think they did a really good job. Also have just creative freedom here, X-Force, X-Factor, and other things. But it's going to be interesting about what they're going to do again. How with the absence of Bo DeMeo. I mean, I'm not going to act like that doesn't exist, because it absolutely does. And again, you can have 2 great seasons, but then we have as a predecessor be like, all right, what I got in front of me is crap. What happened? And we can see the clear common denominator. All right. I hope, because now they're also already moving with season 4 as of right now, from Brad Winderbaum. Already revealed that detail. So, I mean, I'm just gonna be patient. I'm gonna be optimistic. Again, I have faith. I have faith. In honor of Nightcrawler, I have faith that hopefully that they deliver in the coming seasons and stuff. But this definitely left me satisfied from beginning to end. Honestly,
I definitely agree. I also have some small, worries, because again, it's like season 1 and 2 felt like one cohesive narrative story. Like if someone were to binge season 1 and 2 back to back, they could definitely say it's like, yeah, this felt like a giant, like, say you had one writer on a comic book storyline. This is like their full thing from like issue 1 to whatever issue they get up to that they finish their storyline. And it's like, now we're in uncharted territory, we're in uncharted waters. And while I am optimistic for season 3, especially given the fact that they've already greenlit season 4 and that Brad would love to have at least up to 10 seasons if he could, and while I'm hoping that means that the story for season 3 is good and focus test well, that season 4, that's the reason season 4 got greenlit, I'm also going to have some concerns, because it's like, it really, whenever it comes to these things, it always just comes back to the creative team. What are their visions going to be for? What are their visions for the X-Men, X-Force, X-Corp, X-Factor, and all of them going to be for? Where are they going to take Mystique and Onslaught or any other characters? Would they like to do Avengers versus X-Men? Would they like to do the Krakoa era? Would they like to do versus the Inhumans? What would they like to do next? And will it make sense? And will it narratively flow well? Because the thing about X-Men 97 is that it flowed well from the original 90s cartoon to here. It flowed well because not only did you have creatives that loved that original 90s cartoon, you had the voice actors, old and new, that put their all into these characters. You had a plan that was laid out from season 1 all the way up to here for the finale of season 2. I don't know if there were any plans for season 3 that were already written that are also going to be carried over, and we'll see. I'm pretty sure Brad will tell us if any plans were float over from here to there. And again, I love this show. This is definitely one of my top animated shows and top Disney Plus series and top Marvel animated things, because it's just like, as somebody that had watched the 90s cartoon as a kid on demand, and somebody that had been watching since season 1 when it came out, I am loving X-Men 97. I love this show. I love the characters and I love everything that has been put into it, which is also why I am scared for the future of it, because I'm hoping that the quality does not dip. I'm hoping that nothing about this show dips and that it continues to either just be as good or get better, because the X-Men deserve that. We've had way too many years of them having crap TV shows or crap movies or storylines in the comics that were only done because of a certain person's vendetta against not having the movie rights. But we live in an age where the X-Men have, for the most part, over the last few years, have had good storylines. We live in an age where they have had so many more appearances via here, Marvel Rivals, the Wolverine game, other cartoons, etc. And the fact that we're about to see them in Avengers Doomsday in only a few months from now, a movie whose trailer we're probably, well, by the time of this episode coming out, we probably have already had. Again, we don't know at this point in time, but it is good to be an X-Men fan, and I'm just hoping that 2027 does not end that era. That's all my hope is for right now. But X-Men 97 season 2, I give this shit an S. I give this shit an S+. And I'm hoping that season 3, season 4, and however long the show decides to go on for does not falter in it, because I love these characters and I want this to continue to go well. But yeah, what were your guys' thoughts? Did you enjoy season 2? Did you have any, small gripes here and there? Did you have any? What were your thoughts on how it ended? Are you excited for Onslaught and Mystique? Are you wondering when Nightcrawler's coming back? What other mutant characters from like the 90s, early 2000s, 2010s, and 2020s do you hope to appear within these upcoming seasons? And do you also have some fears about where this is going to go in a X-Men 97 world without Bo DeMeo? Or do you trust Brad and feel like we'll be okay? Let us know in the comment section down below. But yeah, guys, this has been a long discussion. I love X-Men 97, and we'll see you guys next for whatever comes on Disney Plus for Marvel, which I think is Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man and Vision Quest. So yeah, we'll see you guys there. But again, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and we will see you guys on the next video. And thanks for having us. Peace.